Hello everyone, I'm Coyote Jack, and once again I want to give my 5 cents opinion in all of this because oh man, we saw something interesting coming out from Marty O'Donnell, so I'm just going to start reading you the headline. Halo series composer Marty O'Donnell says video game industry now pandering because they fear being on the brown side on some special interest groups who can be very loud and very annoying. You know who I'm referring to. In providing anecdotal confirmation to one of the most wisely assumed reasons for the currently abysmal state of Western entertainment, original Halo series composer Marty O'Donnell has revealed any and all such as industries are currently living in fear on being on the wrong side of various special interest groups and their outrage mobs. So, translation, they are just pandering to activists who don't pay the bills. And sadly, customers took it up the ass. Most of them are just consumers. But I just going to say, finally, this is changing. Blue Archive show why they should fear the customers instead of these fucking activists. Or should I say fear them? Because customers will go away. But let's continue. O'Donnell, whose talents helped to provide the soundtracks to each of the mainland Bungie developed Halo titles, spoke to this phenomena during a June 19 appearance on noted conservative commentator Andrew Chapados, eponymous Andrew Says podcast. I saw it. It was good. I should recommend you seeing that video. Halo team creator Marty O'Donnell is running for Congress and for the Republican side, which, yeah, I saw it when his previous peers backstabbing him. He, so a dude who created good stuff and then, well, he just ditched the fucking industry because it turned into trash. Well, let's continue. Following a general discussion about his current political campaign to represent Nevada in the U.S. House of Representatives, O'Donnell was eventually pressed by Chapados for his talks on the topic of DEI in video games. And in part, I'm glad that finally even the normies are catching on with this nonsense. And people are using it, even this, to dunk on their peers, on their friends that told them to they are just fucking paranoid shots. Let's see how that turned out for them. With the host inquiring, when you were involved in gays, was representation on anybody's mind? Was the man of diversity, the man of transformer characters in games ever a topic that anybody thought they should worry about? In turn, the esteemed composer affirms, no, it wasn't. And go walk, go broke. We keep seeing that happen over and over again. Said O'Donnell. That's right. DEI is not diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's a code for didn't earn it. For essentially a Marxist worldwide of power structures. Yep. Fucking communism, fucking leftism as a whole. There are so many catchwords that are being injected into the conversation. Colonization, decolonization. Yeah, they contradict themselves a lot. All these kinds of things. It's so far from what, especially in the entertainment businesses, what people should be worried about. Are you going to tell a good story? Are you going to make a good game? Ah man, he's dunking on these idiots. Are you going to do something that's compelling emotionally for people? Just like he did. That's fun for people. He did it in the past. That's what creators should be concerned about. And Halo 2 is old as fuck. Pushing back against the popular narrative prior to the 2000s entertainment was composed solely of straight white people, he continued, and that was things were fucking good, believe it or not. We had our share of, I guess I would have to say, diverse characters, but it wasn't because we needed to make sure there was a certain percentage of, fill in the blank. it was because these were like either great actors or this was going to be a great character. It was never any part of what our discussions were about. Like, let's make sure we will fill the blanks so the game characters reflect perfectly the makeup of the society. Or as South Park pointed out, put a chicken in and make him lame and gay. This is the only placeholder they have. Hollywood and AAA gaming is just fucking done in the West, especially. The US congressional candidate told Chapados, that is such a creatively dampening way of approaching things, which is why I think the fans are rejecting this ideology. The majority, some that accepted, took it up the ass, and they are finally getting kicked out of their own communities for betraying their previous idea. Excuse me. Let's continue. The fans don't necessarily reject movies or games because diversity, or equity, or inclusion kinds of things are forced into face. If you make a Kent again when you are actually hooking up with all kinds of good looking women, Asian, Colombian, Latin American, European, and a set of fantasy, well, that's the fucking good inclusion that everyone loves, at least from the customer male base. And some women, they can't pretend they don't plenty stuff, especially in Asia. So, or inclusion kinds of things are forced into face. Certainly, they don't like being preached to, but basically, these are not good products. They're being preached every single day with this fucking ideology. There is just tiresome. And when they are obviously pieces of propaganda, you even start noticing and you just should walk away and let it burn. It's not worth even caring for that franchise because they betray you as a customer to appeal to these fucking activists, these Marxist idiots. So let's continue. Certainly, they don't like being preached. Yeah, we read that. At the end of the day, it's not fun to play. It's not interesting. These characters don't sound real. That's what ends up happening. People just don't like it. They are not good stories. They are not memorable. Yeah, that's true. Further pressed by Chapados as to why do these developers keep doing it, O'Donnell revealed that the answer to his question was relatively simple. Fear. I can't say for certain that what is everybody's mind. I know I don't need to work in that fucking industry. I don't need to know them. The only thing I need to do is at least hear their name from some time, find them on social media, and see the fucking rainbow flag in the pronouns in the bio, and you know what's in their mind. Let's continue. But I know when I was there, when I was on the board of directors at Bungie, when I talked to higher ups at Microsoft, this is important. Microsoft is mentioned here. There is a lot of fear, and the fear started creeping in, playing it the forming Bungie exit. There is fear that you are going to essentially get on the wrong side on some special interest groups who can be very loud and very annoying. So let's placate those people. So I will say fear is probably one of the biggest things, and that's why they think, oh, we are going to offend someone. Look, they have been offending Christians and Catholics for a fucking long time. Unless you are going to actually criticize or at least mock for the sake of comedy or even applaud. Well, if those groups want to take it to a personal level, you flip them the bird, especially the tiny hats and the Muslims, because those are the most loudest ones when it comes to this shit. Lefters as a whole, but I'm jumping to conclusion. Let's continue. I don't think, in my experience, that these are deeply held beliefs. He further details. You have to understand that, especially in the big companies, the C-suites and the executives, all they are doing is looking at the bottom line. But they don't even know what product are advertising. They're just this fucking degree cocks that only wants to manage things, not even know what they're doing. I honestly think a lot of these people are empty suits. Yeah, that's true. They don't actually have core values. So they adopt the core values at the moment to make sure they are on the right side so they don't get any sort of backlash. Oh, so you mean fucking ESG? These dudes get it. These dudes fucking get it. And that's an indictment against the kinds of people who end up running companies. O'Donnell clarified, boy, I rarely found people with strong moral character running the companies. It's because they're corporates, they're public companies, or how they say, real companies. That's why. Let's continue. They tend to just go the way the wind blows, and it's going to take them a little while to realize what this is actually not helping their bottom line. But they are just fucking idiots that they are not going to realize that because, or they already realized that, but they don't want to let go that ESG money from the tiny hats. There might be a few true believers out there, but it's few and far between, in my opinion. Venting his own frustrations on the matter, the musician declared, it doesn't make sense. Almost nobody who ends up being on the top level of these entertainment companies actually ever made any entertainment. Though they are by quota, and you know this. It makes sense in a way that they are pushing a narrative, even if that narrative is going to cripple the whole fucking company. Ah, let's continue. They aren't actually directors. They are not artists. They are not musicians. They are not writers. They haven't created anything, he explained. They might have come from marketing or had an MBA or worked their way out through the production side of things where they are not really making things. Nepotism. That's something I hate so much. Nepotism is the source of many fucking problems. And you know how this ideology spread? Because they were infecting that parasite, multiplied, and that's how they were infected other parts of the host. So let's continue. They're just overseeing the production side, and for some reason, I don't trust their judgment. They don't have good judgment when it comes to this, and they have a lot of fear. So I will say fear is a big driving factor here. And that's why when someone fears these fucking activists, reminds them they should fear their customers. Playing nice with them, being reasonable with them. No, treat them like fucking Blue Archive customers treat Nexon. Hey, I saw fucking pronoun bullshit. I saw your fucking localization in this game. In my character that I pulled money to have it in your fucking gacha system. You either fix this or I'm not coming back. And going to make sure to spread the voice so all the fucking customer base realize about this and you go bankrupt, you piece of shit. That's how you should treat these fucking companies. Make them fear that you, as the customer, they should fear you, not the fucking activists. Next, asked by Chapados whether he could personally remember any instances of which a given industry executive was selling a game to conform to the dominant narrative. O'Donnell informed his host, I started seeing a little bit even during Halo 2, which goes bad quiet ways, and that's something that, to be honest, it broke me a little because it's true. Wokeness is not from like the after 2000s, 2014s. It's even before the 90s or even 80s. Even I was watching a clip when from Clint Eastwood's Dirty Harry. He what how he responded by with the fucking quotas with women were entering into police force. I'm just like, dude, they were warning you from the beginning. And Halo 2, yeah, it's a good game, has a good narrative, but it has wokeness. The female marines, how this the daughter of Captain Keys, Miranda, in a position to command guys. No, even for fiction, it's not appealing, but they find their way to make it appealing. And even he mentions this. Let's read through this. We were making Halo 2 in 2002, 2003, which was close enough after 9/11. And if you know the story of Halo, It's about this group of religious zealots that essentially will commit Minecrafting, self-Minecrafting, self-deletion, I have to say that, to keep the religion going. Muslims and tiny hats, because yeah, tiny hats love to sacrifice their own for their own sake. Yeah, I know stuff. The composer recall. That's the characters we had for the Covenant. That started making Microsoft a little bit nervous because they felt like there could be some backlash from the Muslim community in the Middle East. What would you care at this point? If they pull it a fucking 9/11, just mock them. Even that's a good way to portray propaganda. Even if those fuckers were the ones who created 9/11, well, it was the fucking CIA, but well, they let in all these fucking deranged Muslims and do this fucking nonsense. Well, this fucking tragedy with the Twin Towers. Why would you care to offend them when they did harm to you? It's like if I try to not offend a fucking LDHD TV after he attacked me, just like it's happening all across the entire US and across the entire West. Seriously, even if you are a Muslim here in this, you have to realize, yeah, most of your stuff, yeah, we will take some parts to make inspiration into creating something. And if you are going to get behave just like the way you are, oh man, nah, I don't have sympathy for you. Even I want to encourage to mock you even harder. And I have, for the record, where I live, yeah, if you try to pull shit like in the US and Europe, nah, you are going to learn hard way how the cannibal shit is still present in my country to this day. And you are not going to like that. Well, let's continue. So maybe this could be seen as Islamophobic. So all of a sudden we were being asked to be very careful about some names of people or references or phrases and things like that. So yeah, they were already censored on source level, and this dude confirms it a decade later. Or should I say there's already 2 decades? Fuck. 2 decades to confirm, yeah, Halo 2 had wokeness and it was censored at source level. Ah, fucking hell. So I started seeing that I thought, well, that's not necessarily unreasonable because we weren't trying to do some sort of allegory about the political situation. But even you can take inspiration of that. Even you can take inspiration. It's kind of hilarious. If you look at fucking Warhammer, how it takes inspiration from a side of Christianity where they are not a bunch of cocks and they actually are true to the nature of human nature of conquest. Let's just say you can take inspiration. The thing is, if you are going to keep in mind, oh, I'm going to fend this one, I'm going to fend this another one. At least indies have this freedom where they don't have to be cocked out by these fucking executives unless they sold themselves out. That's when you should drop support because indies when they do that, like fucking even Tango Studios started as an indie and sold themselves to Microsoft. Those fucking idiots, they don't have a future anymore in the industry because nobody's going to trust them. If they go back again indie, for what? To be sold, so sold themselves again to another company? Fucking not. So again, continuing with what we were reading. So I started seeing Tara and I thought, well, that's not necessarily unreasonable because we weren't trying to do some sort of allegory about the political situation in the world that had to do with jihadists and all the rest of it. And if that were the case, why they should care? They even fucking jihadists, they don't have a war in all of this other than a bullet in their heads. They they Minecraft a lot of people, even Latin Americans. They don't deserve sympathy, and why you should care about offending them? It's fucking nonsense. And Microsoft, he exposed in Microsoft that yeah, they were protecting a fucking terror group's PR. It's fucking stupid. So retarded. But you know how things go with fucking corporations nowadays. Provide an example or just what changed Microsoft order of Bungie. Or don't noted. Maybe you know this story, but one of our main characters, the Arbiter, was not originally named the Arbiter. During the whole time we were making Halo 2, the character name was the Dervish. We had recorded all the voice. I had directed all the actors. And everybody was using the term Dervish. And then we found out, oh, this could be seen as an insult because there are Islamic religious figures known as dervishes. So, if that's a coincidence, only sleep through, and everyone was okay with that, and it was a reference and inspiration, why you should care about offending them? But well, Microsoft forced O'Donnell into this, and considering that even Halo 2, I noted the record of that game, it was rushed in some parts, and a lot of content got cut off. And imagine even redoing content only to appease Microsoft. Fucking hell. So we have to change it. He ultimately admitted. We were forced to change that name to a different name. So we came out with the Arbiter. I was never really happy about it, with a good reason. I thought this is an artistic choice. This is what we had from the beginning. We were not making trying to make any sort of political or religious comment. We had tons of religious imagery. The Ark, Halo, the Covenant, all of these things are so imbued with religious terminology. Because they were constructing a fucking world and you have to take elements from real life, or at least from what we know to even take inspirations. And that's what the fucking ghosts are so fixated on in destroying history. So you don't have anything to even have a piece of creativity or even freedom in your own mind and soul. Ah, but yeah, this dude gets it. I know he tries to phrase it in a way to not make everyone else butthurt about it, but that's the thing. At the end of the day, even you are going to see some detractors or these fucking lefters that love to call you a chat. So let's continue. So I didn't see why garbage was a problem, but we were forced to change that. I could see that the bigger the product, the more fingers will be in pie trying to mess with things, and he is right. Making a slight but relevant deviation from his main topic, O'Donnell then noted that, by the way, if your plot lines deal with an evil white person or an evil corporation, you are fine. That's why I keep mentioning Christians. At this point, they just take it. They don't behave like the Muslims, but well, if they behave for once, hey, you mock us for a very fucking long time, and it's time up for you to get your ass kicked. Oh, you are a Muslim and I'm a Christian. Oh, you've been trying to Minecraft me. Oh, well, you are going to regret even breathing. You are one of these N-words that keep Minecrafting white people. Is going to get the time. And this is where we are. What I'm trying to say with all these times. They need to realize how this is working. That if you're dealing with Marxist zealots pushing an fucking poisonous agenda, and this time you should not take it anymore, and even point out hypocrisy. Well, like evil white guys, especially men and evil corporation, no problem. We know about that. He told Chapados, you will never get pushback, and that's been around forever. And you can also be like, yeah, let's make the Christian hypocrites and bad people. That's easily. Yeah, that's true. Again, if the Christians make some pushback to the same way, like for example, like that dude in Spain, I thought all 100% of men were a bunch of dickless cocks. One dad who had his son, a baby, he is posted it on social media, and then you see one of these fucking groomer pedophiles from the LDHDTB cult saying he is pedophilic shit to his kid, and what he ends up doing it. You know what the father did? He tracked the fucking idiot and slapped him in the face, punching him, and he was cornered like a fucking little bitch. He making his putita, and that's why even customers can do that. Not necessarily getting physical for confrontations with these fucking developers makes them reminder that who puts money in their table, who makes them paying their bills. That's the only way. Just like I pointed out with Nexon and Blue Archive. If you remind these fucking corporations who is actually putting the money, not investors, but the customers, they will realize that eventually. But well, it's going to be too late because they already dropped off a cliff. So I want to end this here. So yeah, this is uh, a dude from the legacy industry that he just walked away. He's running for Congress, and he's pointed at everything we know from current day. The ugly bitches faces, the feminism indoctrination, the emasculation on men, all of this crap from the Marxist ideology that is wokeness, well, it's confirmed. And those fucking companies that keep pandering to these fucking activists, just stop giving them money and you see how they go broke. You let it burn. Those idiots don't deserve salvation. They already threw that away years ago. But anyway, that's pretty much everything I needed to say here. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a pretty good day.